examination is self-study driven, okay, and it is based on the reading assignment which is designed by the institute. So when you register with the institute, you will be getting a study material that you have to study. So on that basis they will be deciding on the examination. So it is entirely self-study driven. Okay, now if you see the three levels, okay, level 1 what we call is foundation. So level 1 is the place where the candidates they build their knowledge base. Okay, so this is a like foundation, because a very good foundation in level 1 is very helpful in the level 2 and level 3. Okay, so what I would say is level 1 is wide in focus. It's like not focus, it's very wide. Okay, here you get an understanding of investment tools. We'll see when we get into the curriculum, we'll see like what are investment tools. Okay, in fact like the focus is there in investment tools in level 1. Okay, level 2 the focus is on the asset valuation. So that means like in level 2 you learn the asset valuation techniques. So you understand the process how to value the assets. The assets can be equity, derivatives, fixed income, alternative investment. Okay, in the level 3 the focus shifts to portfolio management. That is, you have to learn how to apply the techniques. Okay, so there is a very application oriented approach. That means in portfolio management you need to decide on how much debt you should keep, how much equity you should keep, how much alternative investment should be kept, okay, and how you should use the derivatives to manage the risk that is there in the portfolio. So it is very application oriented examination. Okay, now let's see the examination type. Okay, level 1 is entirely 100% multiple choice question. So in fact I will say that a level 1 2 is entirely 100% multiple choice. Okay, but there are like certain distinction among the different levels. Okay, in level 1 you get 120 question in the morning. So I'll let's see the syllabus of level 1, how the examination pattern happens. In level 1 you have two examination. In fact you have two examination in both the morning and afternoon. Okay, level 1 morning you have 120 questions, afternoon you have 120 questions. Okay, now these 120 questions are independent of each other. That is, like one question will not depend on any other question. Okay, and these are multiple choice questions. There are only three options. So there are three options A, B, C. Okay, only one option is correct. Okay, and there is no negative marking in the examination. So you have to write 120 question in the morning. You have to you have to answer 120 question in the afternoon also. Okay, now if you see the level 2 program, level 2 program is slightly different. Okay, in level 2 what you get is you are given a case. Okay, so you have to go through this case. Okay, the case can be from 1 page to 4 page long. Okay, so depending on the extent of the cases you can have like from 1 to 4 pages. Okay, based on one case you have 6 questions. So you have, on basis of each case you can have 6 questions. Now it is not necessary that all these 6 questions are independent. There can be some relationship with one question to the other, but that the number of questions are very less. But what happens is all of these 6 questions will refer the same case. Okay, and in level 2 you have 10 cases in the morning and 10 cases in the afternoon. As a result what you have is you have 60 questions in the morning and you have 60 questions in the afternoon that you have to solve. Okay, then the level again, like in this each of this multiple choice question you have three options, no negative marking. Okay, in level 3 the afternoon examination is similar to the level 2 examination. That is, you have a case and each of the case has 6 questions to answer. Okay, but the morning examination is not a multiple choice examination. This is a essay type examination. So this is a essay type examination, and then there are 10 essay type questions that you have to answer. So it's a writing based examination. It is not a multiple choice. So level 1 is multiple choice item set. Level 2, level 3 you have 50% item set, 50% essay. Morning is essay, afternoon is the multiple choice, and each of these examination are 3 hours. So you have 3 hour morning, 3 hour afternoon. In fact, they know the timing is known. 9 to 12 is the morning, 2 to 5 is the afternoon. Okay, and the level 1 examination, they are conducted 2 times in the year. One is in June and another one is in December. So the examination gets conducted on first Sunday of June and first Sunday of December. Okay, level 2 examination gets conducted only in June, as well as level 3 gets conducted in June. So that means if you are writing level 1 in 2012 for the first time, okay, you can pass the level 3 examination in 2014 June. So this is the minimum amount of time that you will take to pass this examination. Okay, as of now, there is institute has not said whether they will make this more frequent, but so since that is not known, so we know that June you have to write when you are applying for the June 2012 examination. Okay, now what are the eligibility for this examination? You need to be a graduate, and the graduate, you can be from any discipline. It's not necessary that you have to be graduate in arts or commerce or science. You can be any discipline. Now those people who are final year students, they can also apply for this, but they can write only level 1 examination. They cannot write level 2 until they become graduate. Okay, there is no work experience requirement to appear in the examination. Okay, without work experience you can appear in the examination, you can pass all the examination, but to get the CFA charter, as I was saying, you need to have 48 months of what is known as the relevant work experience. Now the institute has decided upon some relevant work experience, and on that basis they are saying that you have passed, you are eligible for the CFA charter. Okay, now whatever the institute has around some 14-15 work profiles which they have highlighted on their website that are coming under the relevant work experience, but that is not all. Like in fact, like the institute asked you to apply for associate membership once you have completed your level 1 examination. When you are applying for the associate membership, okay, you have to give a description about your work experience. Okay, and now base this decision of whether the work experience is relevant or not is decided on a case to case basis, but our guidance is like 50% of your time should be spent in your analysis or investment management. That if that is the case, then that is your eligibility. But however, this is not all. Okay, there can be lots of work experience, okay, which will be like not focusing like academics. Or so what you have to do is like you have to go to the institute and say that this is what I am doing, and you have to highlight that how the CFA examination or CFA program is helping you to understand the and apply the material that you have read. Okay, yes, Mr. Aditya, you have a question, tell me. Okay. Now, what the institute has provided, like after like you have passed the level 3, okay, after passing the examination, you can get the relevant work experience. Now, in the world, like the difficult part is your passing of the examination. Okay, so the level 3 that is more difficult. So what happens is once you have got your level 3, after that, or like what happens is like you can get a work experience after your level 2 anytime. Let's say you have passed the examination in 2014, okay, assume, okay,